Greetings everyone, hey how you doing? It's Matt Sella, and today I'm doing a quick, non-spoiler review for Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Before we begin, keep in mind while I may be talking about a film that is rated PG-13 by the MPAA, I believe that's correct, this review is intended for older audiences, early 20s and older. Now, this has been a difficult movie I wanted to review, mainly because of how big the Star Wars franchise is. It's hard to avoid headliners and YouTube video thumbnails. I'm looking at you, young to go in and try to critique this movie without any other impressions, dampening or heightening my expectations. Especially for someone who does not have the luxury of being remotely close to having an invite to early critic screenings. Get on, Disney, I want to see these movies early so I can review them! But jokes aside, I went in Friday opening weekend and saw it with a full crowd. And what did I think about this final entry in the new main Star Wars trilogy? Well, it's complicated. I liked it better than The Last Jedi, and I am one of the few rare who enjoyed that movie, but Rise of Skywalker, dare I say, wasn't as interesting. It is no surprise I don't consider myself a Star Wars fan. I see myself more as a casual moviegoer looking to be simply entertained. And it's getting harder with these big blockbuster movies from Disney. But let me get into the movie though. And again, it's non-spoilers, so don't worry about that. The main positives I can muster is the overall tone fits. And there are some natural shots that look amazing to me. Like the composition, the layout, a lot of beautiful establishing shots. Some characters like Poe and Rey actually seem to have arcs and conflictions. There's a hint of depth there. However, my overall problem is everything seemed hollow. Like there were many parts where I wanted to feel like the world the cast is in is real, but because of how green screened everything looked, some of the shots of how they were set up, a lot of them felt composited, put together with computers. There were some amazing sets though, and I really liked those. However, during some pivotal story scenes, they lacked that believable level of connection for the characters, physically speaking. I was also not a big fan of the tools used to tell this story, and what I mean by that is there are many big and small parts that call back to not only The Last Jedi, but previous Star Wars films as well that felt, no pun intended, forced in. It didn't feel natural, and it came across as damage control, especially from The Last Jedi. Moments like that took me out of the movie quite a few times, especially if you're aware of some of the behind-the-scenes arrangements between directors, producers, and so on. For the more casual fan, I don't see this as a major problem for them. There are some twists and turns in Rise of Skywalker, as director J.J. Abrams is famously, or infamously, known for, and the sad thing is, those moments were almost interesting, but not compelling enough. They felt like they were there just for the sake of it, but it either wasn't that surprising or just, that's a thing now, shall we move on? Humor was hit and miss, mostly miss, and I was in a crowded theater and there were many times where I think a joke was made, but only 25% of the time the crowd chuckled. Yet I probably put the blame on the dialogue, it wasn't great. I could go deeper, but I'll leave that for a spoiler discussion with a couple friends if you guys are interested. But for now, I leave this movie just being meh. It was okay at best. It had some fun ideas, but to me it felt really watered down because things happened in the past movie that were criticized, then the filmmakers really want to remedy some of them in some capacity. If you listen to my number 6 podcast on the state of sequels and Disney Star Wars, as I'm getting older, I'm noticing these kind of films have less great ideas going for them and seem to focus more on the cynical nature of making money off its name while it's still relevant. And to me, the new Star Wars trilogy feels like that. Maybe the next trilogy will actually have an overall plan next time and won't feel like an improv handoff of telling an arcing story. For now, we have The Mandalorian, and here's hoping that will go strong. Well, you heard my opinion, now I want to hear yours. Let me know in the comment section below, did you see Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Share your thoughts, join the conversation. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when new videos drop. Check out my Patreon if you wish to support me directly, link in the description below. This is Matt Sella, thanking you all for tuning in.